Yeah, then I read the dean of our historians, what's his name? Ortiz. And to my surprise, in one of his books, The Black Slaves, los Negros Esclavos, he states something very firmly that he had met all former slaves who told him that they knew people who had gone back to Africa. He said, I refused that information because I know better that there were no Cuban slaves.
Wow.
In fact, it was impossible for Cuban slaves to return to Africa, former slaves to return to Africa. And I told him, I could not speak to him because he had already passed away, but his book was very influential in the way of denying this aspiration that I had to do research on that precise aspect. It was not good news anyway. So anyway, I firmly kept my promise to my friend the Chapo, and when I went to Nigeria, I began doing research in my free time, which was very little, as a head of mission there. So I went full of hope that I would meet them. And as I told you yesterday, or the other day, I was surprised of the knowledge in the academic world about this. It was something, a current thing for them to know and to speak about, and didn't give them much, give it much importance. Sure, there were people who came back from Cuba, from Brazil. It was common conversation with professors, and I even you have in the book, some of the authors who referred to that problem. But they were not very informative in the sense that to show me places, families, documents. They too were not very interested in the theme that to me was so important. So I began asking people everywhere I went, and hold a conversation with a Nigerian from Lagos, and I favored old people. That's where I found. I think I was guided by the gods. I went to a factory, cement factory, and I was waiting for the owner, who had told me he would be there at a certain hour and was not there, and I was waiting, and he had there was an old gentleman there waiting as well for the owner. I began the whole talk with him about my favorite theme, which was the return to Africa, to Nigeria, of Cubans. And he said, sure, this is something well known in Nigeria. You go to the Campos Square as you go out in the center of Lagos, and you will find there a house of the Campos family, and just tell them that I sent you. They didn't know him when I went there, but I went there and they said, you're Cuban, welcome. We have been waiting for such a long time for a Cuban to come here. And so I went there and began friendship with them, which was very productive from the academic point of view, but also from the human point of view. Because I found that these people were excellent people, and they were living in a house which was very beautiful, and with a big backyard and rooms to hold, for meant for Cubans who were returning from Africa, did not know where to go in the first days of the stay there, or were given
accommodation.
Yes, they were given some of these rooms, and for a few days to begin their new lives in Lagos. And so that's how it began. And through them, I found out that this community of Cubans were very close, and they introduced me to other families, which was I was not able to give it much attention because I concentrated in just 2, 3, 4 families, and met many others that I could not refer to in the terms of intimacy that I was studying these families and having this relations with them. And so that's how it began, and I was so happy. I was a happy diplomat, but above all, a happy historian.
Yes.
I was going to fulfill this promise of this master in history who believed in what the reformers told him, and stayed in my book a very friendly and humane criticism of Ortiz, who did not believe and thought even that it was impossible